two of the very best, as we've asserted. It is Europe against Asia, and in this particular tournament, it's undefeated against undefeated. Double elimination was the format early in the event, but these two didn't need it.
For break.
Yet to suffer a defeat. But as they say in boxing, the O must go for one of them. It's not a match I would like to forecast. I think they're so evenly matched.
Joshua Filler wins the
What I
leg.
will say is that I think the winner of this contest will be regarded as the favourite in the final. Certainly not a certainty, but the favourite.
Thank you. The first rack. Joshua Filler's a break.
What an achievement it would be to successfully defend the UK Open title. Filler's got that chance.
Well, great break off to start here, Phil. As he talked about in his interview, breaking and getting shots, that's what Filler's trying to do.
Nothing like a break and run out to open proceedings. Outside of this copper box arena, there's an art installation. It is 3 massive metallic words, R-U-N, run, and it could not be more apt for this man, because he makes running out an art form.
Yeah, and like he does generally in most events, he gets better as the event goes. And you know, had a funny match yesterday against against the youngster, against Rampanen, and you know, kind of a funny situation mentally. I think didn't play his best there, but came right back, left that match behind, and played really well against Fortunski. And Josh, I think, is just one of those players like we've seen in the past. Earl Strickland's and Mike Siegel's, Johnny Archer's, when they get to the finals, they're just, the record's incredible. Such a huge match here in this semifinal.
And that was the case last year, wasn't it? Because in beating Francisco Sanchez Ruiz in the title match here, Filler's potting under pressure was out of this world.
Joshua Filler.
The ideal start for the German. He won the lag, he broke, he ran out. His strike rate here has been excellent. That's the 95th rack he's played, and he's won 68 of them. That will get the job done in any company.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had a break and run there to start. But interesting, in his interview, he said that he's really happy with his tactical play this week. And that's one area that we always talk about. Maybe Josh can get a little better.
Given a tough workout, I thought, by Nguyen Antoine of Vietnam in his third match, 9-7. It was really tight there, but he came good against Carlo Biardo, didn't he? Winning 10-1 in the last 32. And then overcoming Mieszko Fortunski in his most recent contest.
Oh, an awful kiss on the cue ball.
Stroke.
So we'll get our first look at Ko Pin-Yi. Still happy the way he's breaking them, though, so we'll see when Josh gets back to the breaking end. And we'll get a look at this layout with ball in hand. So interesting here. Shouldn't be too much trouble from the 2 to the 3, but then you can see Getting from the 3 to the 4, back up table to the purple 5. That's the real trick. And I'll tell you, thinking about Ko Pin-Yi, Phil, they didn't win it, but he really carried his brother last year at the World Cup. And I think that's kind of when he started that form that we've seen, and I don't think he's really let up since.
Yeah, I'm hearing we might have some World Cup news later on today, so watch out for that. Let's put it this way. A year on, the two Ko brothers at the World Cup that's forthcoming in Spain will be formidable.
Yeah, especially with Ko Ping-Chung ever since that World Cup where he really struggled. I'm not sure what changes he made, but he showed a lot of form ever since getting to the U.S. Open final, or excuse me, semifinal. And then, of course, Ko Pin-Yi, who's been super solid. A win in Bucharest last year. Of course, the Whirlpool Masters here recently. And really just no weakness when it comes to the categories in 9-ball pool.
He celebrated his 34th birthday here this week. What a present he could give himself.
Yeah, a little light there. So he's going to fall a little funny on this 8. Kind of from nowhere as well. He's going to ask the cue ball to get clean, so that tells me he's going to play this at a mild pace. Not really working the cue ball around the table. And a big shot early. Key to this shot is don't baby it too much. Take a little more cut on the 9 if needed. That way you don't sacrifice this black 8.
Yes, because although we saw Eklund Kachi miss the 9-ball last night from similar range, that kind of ball at this level rarely goes astray. Just shows you, what did Joshua Filler do there that was incorrect? Nothing. He had a very bad kiss on the cue ball. Into the pocket it went. And Ko Pin-Yi efficiently equalised. It's 1-1. A match that's already living up to expectations. As we said before, Ko Pin-Yi undefeated here, and he's had some very dominant victories. The first 3 in particular to defeat Nikos Economopoulos 9-2. Let me tell you, that takes some doing. Alexa Pashol, she's a fine young player. The Serbian was beaten 10-4, then Moritz Neuhausen from Germany 10-3, and finally last night in the quarterfinals he struggled, I thought, but he did beat Dimitris Lukatos, the most surprising quarterfinalist of the tournament, by 10 racks to 8.
Well, that's a pretty ideal break off there. The 1 in the side. It's going to get a little funny cueing, but he does have a look at the blue 2. And hats off to Lukatos and Shane Wolford, 2 of our new final 16 that made it in there. Wouldn't doubt those guys get back in that situation sometime this year, maybe a bit further. A lot of congestion around the rack, so of course one of the best in making decisions and one of the best with the cue ball. A big shot. Sometimes it's even, I wouldn't say more awkward, but just as awkward shooting beside a ball than it is over a ball, to be fair. The swerve of the cue ball becomes a little bit different. Like to stay away from any side spin if he can, but it's got to be a little left English here. What a nice shot. And of course, we're playing all ball fouls, so any ball touched surrenders ball in hand to their opponent.
That shot oozed class. Made more difficult, of course, because of the positional consideration, having to hit the cue ball crisply to get back on the 3. And now he'll be fancying his chances.
Yeah, and he's fallen a little funny here straight.
Extension call.
I'm not sure if the purple 5 goes by the brown 7. The pink, of course, the pink 4 ball, not too much of an issue, but getting proper position there leads towards the run out. Yeah, this is odd. And this tells me that the purple 5 does not pass the 7. He would simply just draw back for a little angle on the pink 4. So he's going to have to play from underneath here. Probably coming 2 rails. He's going to draw back for the cut on the purple. Okay. He's going to be stretched, I think. Could go forward underneath the purple, though.
Needs to hit this sweetly.
Did he get enough? I don't know if he got enough draw on the ball or not. Maybe the safety's coming. And that's what we're going to see. Probably just slow draws up into the 6 and 9.
Yeah, use the 6 as a buffer to hold behind the 9, and this is clearly trouble. In his pre-match interview, Filler was saying how pleased he's been with the way he's been kicking. He'll need to bring that here.
Yeah, and he may be able to go to the side cushion. I don't know how much speed he can put on the ball going to the side cushion, though, because it does require some spin. And that's a good look at Copigny, the brain, right? Not forcing it right there. He wants to stay aggressive and keep Filler in the chair, but playing the percentages. Now here I kind of like the soft kick, to be fair. Yeah, the 5 can... He can certainly make it, but the 5 can get in a lot of odd places near the cue ball. This is that tactical side that he's really happy with himself.
What a transformation in the rack. Rolls reversed in the space of 2 shots.
Yeah, absolutely. And really nothing to predict here. Kind of a lonely 6 ball up the table. I was going to say he would probably like some kind of full contact, but the double kiss wasn't it. Now, Filler doesn't have a ton of angle. So we'll see if he pulls this tight of the 8 or if he kind of follows the ball more and comes between the 8 and 9. You would like to go short of the 8. He's going to go between the 8 and 9. Watch out for the 9 ball. Should be okay.
That rack will give Joshua Filler more satisfaction than the opening rack when he broke and ran. The German back in front at 2-1.
it, but you better get in the zone. If you want to make it, then you can take it, but you better get in the zone.
Despite the scoreline, it's thumbs up from the Ko brothers. Ko Ping Han on the left, Ko Ping Chung on the right, supporting
Joshua Filler to break.
that man,
Leading
Ko
2 racks to
Ping
1.
Yi. Filler looks so sharp though this morning, Jeremy.
Yeah, I can say he's definitely up for it. He's got the break working. You can tell he's confident. This is the moments he really kind of dreams of. Only thing we're missing is his better half, right? She's usually here for these kind of events.
She's competing in the European Championship in Finland at the moment, so does have a good excuse.
Yeah, absolutely, and I wouldn't doubt taking it off over there, but her husband trying to take it off here. Not sure how close he'll get to the purple 5. He wants to get that nice natural angle to come 2 rails down towards the bottom left end of the table for the green 6. And I think both players are ready. We'll just see when Filler surrenders the table back to Ko.
But there are certain players in sport, you just can see the difference. They're special. And in terms of 9-ball, he's special.
Yeah, like Carl said, I think I haven't known him that long, of course. Met Filler, I think, our first time I saw him, he was about 18. I think it was the last time that SVB won the U.S. Open 2016, if I remember correctly. And all the Euros told me this is the next guy. This is the next great from Europe. And it's not easy for some of those top players to say that, you know, in that regard, right? So, but they could see it and they knew it, and now we all know it.
Now you might think, why didn't he just knock that into the centre? That was the percentage play. These middle pockets are brutally tight.
Joshua Filler wins the rack.
And Filler knows his way around a 9-ball table, let me tell you. 3-1 now. And he's playing some, well, frankly, flawless pool.
Yeah, and his opponent, Ko Ping Yi, doing the same. It's just a matter of, you know, what big blow's coming next. And that kick on the 5-ball in rack number 3 was the first one, and he's followed up with now another break and run.
I think it might be time for a little bit of self-congratulation here, Jeremy, because before the tournament began, you picked Skylar Woodward to lift the trophy. I picked Joshua Filler. I don't know about the other 2 guys, but I think we're doing okay.
Yeah,
Rack 5.
definitely, and
Joshua Filler to break.
still a lot of this
3 racks to
semifinal
1.
left, of course, but another great one coming up with Eklund Kachi and Skylar Woodward in our second semi. I'll tell you what, too, very comfortable with the break shot so far. He's going to get snookered here, so we'll see. And when we get down to this position, what's so impressive about, you know, the talent of the game and how much there is, and of course there's some special ones out there like these 2, but they're not really looking to like just get through the match. They want to take on the tough shot. They want to bet on themselves, and you got to love it. Now, don't know where he pushes out here exactly.
Push out call.
Maybe moves the 3 into a more penal position, right? Gives them a little insurance. Anytime you got the worst of it, it's just like any other sport. You want to lengthen the game.
Your choice.
The lengthiest match of the tournament, this. The race has been extended to 11. A proper test.
Yeah, I'll tell you, a very bare top of the table, and The only really play here is to clip the right side of the 2 and come back down. I think I got to pass this one. Only reason being is if you don't get the snooker, right? If you come down and you leave the 2 on the top rail and let your opponent see it, there's a big wall of that brown 7, 3, and black 8
Joshua, please play
to
again.
play some type of safety behind. So I think the percentage here is to pass. Now, this is the problem. You're passing to a very difficult opponent, and you never know when he's liable to just knock a ball in and get out from nowhere. Should just shave the right side. But this is more of what I was talking about. If you don't get the snooker, you got to like Copigny's chances of returning. Now it looks like he's coming off the left, going to use the, oh no, he did play off the right. Really nice.
Still not a hint of a mistake from either of them. You can't include the scratch on the break from Phillip in rack 2 because it was a cruel bump. Not his own fault at all.
You know, be curious to see on this jump shot if he goes for the make or bangs it around. I think he may go for the make here. The only reason being is if he knocks it away, he could tear open some problems there on the side rail. So why not go for this? Now there is a position to get for the 3 does pass the 8. So a long, tough shot on the blue 2 and a very tight kind of position zone, excuse me, for the red 3.
Extension called.
Got quite a few fans here today, and I'll tell you, I think with Filler's win last year at the Copper Box, he kind of gained more fans, it seemed like to me. This is going to be costly.
Foul stroke.
And kind of surprising, just because the 3 did pass. I thought he may just follow to the center of the table and take the cut shot on the 3. Hard to question any decision that Copigny plays, though.
Foul stroke.
Narrow channel between side cushion and the black 8 ball. Now that's been negotiated. 4-1 looming.
Yeah, and a nifty little shot to move the 8 to open up the brown 7 for later. And the problem here is, of course, it's Filler. But once you see him breaking so well, it's almost like the stress level for his opponents just magnifies greatly. Just you feel like any mistake can cost you a ton of games.
Filler, a serial winner. Mind you, so is Co. Only one can advance. And right now the early indications are that it will be the defending champion. Filler leads by 4. just up the A12 here in Brentwood, and the normally reserved young man from Chinese Taipei was immediately onto the table, celebrating, releasing all of the emotion. Today, though, one will advance, one will depart. This could be the final. It's the semi-final, and Filler continues to solve that break-off conundrum.
Yeah, he's breaking really well. The timing is perfect. The one kind of screaming in the side pocket. Now he's got a touchy couple shots here. I don't know what he choices. I mean, could kind of draw underneath the 6, banking the 2 ball back at the 7. He could come 2 to rail and plant him behind the pink 4. That's real natural and kind of less stress because you're kind of just rolling your ball. He's going to chip the 2 to the backside into the pink 4 and run the cue ball around. And whew, not only is it probably the best shot, maybe Copigny got a little gap between the green 6 and the black 8, because otherwise this is a very difficult hit on the blue 2.
What's intimidating about Filler, there's no weakness in any department of the game, but also how quickly he computes what to do, and with a shot clock, that's invaluable in itself.
Yeah, absolutely. And what happens is, just like all the greats, you know, he trusts his gut. He trusts what he sees. And, you know, in 9-ball pool, like many sports, you're going to go with your first look more often than not. And he just plays so confident when it comes down the end of the event.
When the hit was made, the crowd applauded. But then when the cue ball came back up table and left Filler that too, the applause subsided.
Well, with an equal opportunity here, the balls agreed for that. Kind of felt like we were going to have a really, really close match, but sometimes the balls don't agree, and again, Filler doesn't want that either.
And he's got previous beating Carlo Biardo 10-1 this week. Biardo, former and very recent US Open champion, so if he can beat him that heftily, he can beat anyone by cricket score.
Yeah, should just come to the middle of the table for a little angle on the green 6. Really stress-free from here. And we know how clean he hits the cue ball, but he also has that next level of hitting it even better, and that's what I've seen so far today.
Players would rather be beaten
Extension call.
11-1, 11-2, having done very little rung, than lose 11-10 after missing numerous chances. Right now, though, Copigny must be sitting in his chair, extremely concerned, not merely about the one-sided scoreline, but about how brilliantly Filler is playing. By his standards, Filler's had a quiet start to the year. But in this match, he looks back to his peak performance. The scoreline is 5-1 to the title holder.
If you want to make it, then you can take it, but you better get in the zone. If you want to make it, then you can take it, but you better get in the zone.
The Coe brothers looking a little more subdued than they were the last time we saw them. That's because their big brother,
Thank you, rack 7.
is not
Joshua
exactly
Filler's a break.
going well.
Leading 5 racks
5-1
to
down,
1.
even though his mistakes have been minimal.
Yeah, again, the 1 ball just seems to be on point. 2 ball agreeing, and the right bet here is it's going to be 6-1 shortly, at least from what I see and the way Filler's playing.
One of the great introductions to the sport by Matchroom, the world 9-ball rankings, and I can tell you, having done a few calculations and checked with the Matchroom guys who are right on top of this, if Filler wins this match, he will replace Shane Van Boening in second place on those 9-ball rankings, behind only Francisco Sanchez Ruiz.
Yeah, Filler asking for the cue ball to get clean. He's going to play this kind of slowly. And we've seen matches change. That's for sure. We've seen it several times this week. So Copini, of course, all the experience and one of the best in the world. He'll remain patient as he can and just hope for a look at a ball soon.
As good, as very good a player as you were, Jeremy, you will have suffered heavy defeats in the past. Everyone has. It's not a nice feeling when you can see an opponent who's totally dominant in terms of the scoreline, but also clearly in the zone.
Yeah, there really hasn't been anything you would call of any fortune. A little unfortunate the second break getting kissed in, and Copini a little unfortunate on the scratch from a difficult situation on the blue two, but yeah, it's been pure class so far from Joshua Filler. And you can see why he's usually Carl's pick at just about every event.
Joshua Filler wins the
Simply
rack.
brilliant. He has won a couple of smaller events this year, but this would be by far and away his biggest achievement of 2023. The Moscone Cup MVP, of course, at the tail end of last year. 2022 also brought the Whirlpool Masters, the UK Open, gold medal in the 9-ball singles at the World Games in Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah, I was there for that one, Phil, and hats off to Sanjan Pelovanovic for his silver medal there. He gave Josh all he could handle in that
Joshua
final.
Filler's break, leading 6 racks to 1.
And one thing about both these players that you got to love is, you know, Copini hasn't got that U.S. Open yet, but he's got a ton of titles at a young age. And Joshua Filler, of course, the same at 25, a world 9-ball champion, a World Masters champion, UK Open champion, US Open champion. So, but they don't let up, you know. They do well for themselves financially. Well, real well liked around the world, especially the pool world. And what I love is just the continual effort to improve. I'll tell you, there were 252 players that didn't make it to the semifinal, and they can certainly learn something from both these guys.
Push out called. Copini, your choice.
Now he's just sizing up the 3-8, and so far, Josh, in a couple little situations when he had to roll out, a little fortunate that the rack kind of gave him a little cover, a little insurance, kind of moving forward like here in game number 8. You know, the last time the rollout or the push out was played, Copini did get the best of him, did get to the first shot, just lost the cue ball on the side. He's going to play this lightly. And you would say a little bit of a light push out from Josh, but he didn't want to stress too much with the red 3 and the black 8, you know, tangled up table. I wonder if he plays a soft kick just to lay on the 2 here. Could hit it, try to hit it kind of full maybe and knock it away. Yeah, like that. You see how he played that with right English to check the cue ball back off the 2. That's some advanced stuff there, Phil.
no move not known.
I think he was just trying to roll it in and then play some type of mild safety. Now Josh is going to look at a combination that looks like it's pointed towards the bottom cushion, but you can throw this ball in. And what you do with that is you actually shoot the 3 ball in what you would normally think the opposite direction to make the combination.
Yeah, they call it the reverse plant in snooker. It's exactly the same principle.
Yeah, what happens is you just have a little friction.
Extension
He
call.
could draw into this as well, but it's a full angle, so hard to figure he'll tear away from the 3 even if he draws. Wow, he hit it just right. You know, Phil, we always want close score lines, of course, right? Especially towards the end of the event, but you know, it's one thing if we don't have that closest score line when we see something extra special, and that's what we're seeing here from Filler.
You know, you read my mind there. I was thinking exactly the same. People love dramatic matches, yes, but I always take great satisfaction in being there when someone is at their optimum efficiency, especially a great like Filler. Someone was saying yesterday, can we call Joshua Filler an all-time great of pool? Well, at the age of 25, I think we can.
Yeah, absolutely. And what people don't realize, of course, 9-ball pool's where it's at, but plays all disciplines really well. It's one of his practice sessions, or it used to be, is daily. He wanted to run 200 balls playing straight pool, which you could take the entire field, and sometimes that may take you a week, and he does it daily.
Well, he has won the American straight pool and the European straight pool championship in the past, to underline what you're saying.
And if you ever get to watch him play that game, it's the same thing. He just thinks so quickly. And off to a burner here. 7-1. Wow.
Joshua Filler wins the rack.
He's arguably the best in the business, Joshua Filler. When he's on top form, it's as though he's unstoppable. And of course, what a time to get into a rich vein of form with so much 9-ball pool on the horizon. Coming your way in late June, and I'm delighted to say Jeremy and I will be there in Lugo in northwest Spain. First up from June 20 for 6 days, the same template as this, 256 players for the inaugural Spanish Open, which of course will feature Filler and the 2 Spaniards who are greatly loved in their home country, David Alcaide and Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, followed on by the World Cup of Pool at the same venue where FSR and Alcaide will defend.
Yeah, and really one of the best events of the year, I think, the World Cup
Joshua
of Pool.
Filler's
And
break.
there's so many
Leading 7 racks to
quality
1.
teams now, and I think the most global sport we have. Oh, watch a golden break. Wow, we have it all so
Joshua
far.
Filler wins the rack.
I use this phrase a lot. It's like a millionaire winning the lottery. Does he need it? No, he doesn't at all.
Maybe.
But the 9-ball goes in, and this very one-sided match becomes even more so. Talk about piling on the misery. Look at this, smashing into the balls. He's been working out the break brilliantly, but you can never legislate for a 9-ball going in.
Ben,
Copin Yi,
continue.
he's just being
Carry on.
trounced by Joshua Filler,
Yeah, it's
who
a
now
break.
leads by 8
Normally,
racks to
yes.
1. Only
Sometimes
3
very
more
quick, though, they
required
do it
for a return trip to the UK Open final.
Sorry, man.
If you want zone. If you want to make it, then you can take it, but you better get in the zone.
What an ending we saw to Rack 9. It was an immediate ending. It was over in a flash. Jeremy, as if it was required.
Yeah, we had a few of them at the World Tour Masters. We haven't seen a ton here at the UK Open, but just how this match has gone, been nothing but perfect for Joshua Filler.
I think it's also worth saying we've been playing for less than an hour, and already Filler is in total command, closing in on victory.
Yeah, you don't figure it just because the way the match has gone, no matter what Filler's needed to do, he's done with a lot of breaking runs as well. But he won't let up. He knows how great Ko Ping Yi is, and he knows how quickly the pool balls can kind of change. And now another shot on the blue too, a little long, but you don't think it's going to slow him down.
This is like watching tennis and having the ultimate serve volley man get the first serve in every time.
Yeah, playing make it, take it, and that kind of like a Ivan Isavic back in the day with Wimbledon, something like that. It'd be pretty hard to win if he got to serve all the time. But got a little funny here. He's got to kind of stun over. Could play it in the side, but and go to the top rail, I think, with no problem. I don't think there's really a scratch in the corner of the upper left now. He can't really cheat these side pockets much. The key to this is that if he's going to play it in the side, is he's got to kind of smoothly go up to the top rail and just kind of casually come down towards the pink.
Already 3 break-in run-outs and the golden break in addition. And he's the kind of personality who will pursue perfection and look on it as a badge of honour. So his concentration won't dip. He wants to be flawless, and he has been thus far in the match. Tactically, offensively, breaking off, he's been the epitome of efficient. No hint of weakness.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Phil. And the other scary thing for whoever comes through in our second semi, and you know, if Josh goes on to win this match, which, you know, percentages are in his favor and greatly, is him experiencing this level, you know, isn't going to slow him down in the next. It's only going to probably give him a better chance to do the same thing.
Joshua Filler wins the rack.
He's the pool's equivalent of the Flash. Frames, racks over in no time. Under 3 minutes, that one. And the pressure is being piled on to Ko Ping Yi, who of course can do something similar to his opponent if he gets the chance. But in this match, there have been few and far between when it comes to chances.
Yeah, well, like I said, he's been dead on with the one on the side. Really hasn't wobbled a ball in, I don't think. Everything's been pretty much center cut. You can see him getting through this rack. And the good thing about Josh as well is, you know, when he needs it, he can do it, but he keeps it simple. He really relies on his strengths, which is great. It makes the easiest way to win.
After this high-speed display, He's breaking off
Joshua Filler wins the rack.
rapidly beyond the hill. And that one ball has found a home in the centre pocket.
And I'll tell you, I don't know what the percentage is of Ko getting back to the table in this match, but if he does and happens to get a bead on his side when it comes to that score line, he needs to make sure he breaks from the same side as Josh. He's really got it dialed in. Big pocket here with the brown 7. Does he have to play the combo maybe? No, he could squeeze it by. And I know at some time or another we'll get some stats probably after the match, and break and runs are going to be up there. But what about balls pocketed, the comparison between the two, or at least at the moment? Look at that, balls potted, 74-13.
And the majority of the 13 came in the second rack when Filler saw that cue ball nudged into the top right-hand pocket for a scratch that cost him the rack. His only loss.
And Josh really hasn't even threatened missing a ball and given us any opportunity to tell you how tough the table is. He's making it look
Joshua Filler wins the rack.
pretty easy.
On the hill, just like that. Ko Pin-Yi must be thinking, I got all the way here playing some beautiful pool and ran into a buzzsaw. I think in situations like this, yeah, Ko's right. All you can do is smile and accept what's occurring. You are powerless. And the way that Filler's breaking, it's entirely possible that Ko has played his last shot in the tournament.
Absolutely, and one thing refreshing for Ko Pin-Yi, whether it's this game or whenever, it will be Josh's last break in the match. Won't have to fade that any longer.
Jeremy Jones always looking on the bright side.
Rack
Wow.
12.
And the good thing when it is
Joshua
your
Filler
last
to
break,
break.
don't back off. Keep
On the
doing
hill,
what you're doing.
leading 10 racks to 1.
Easy to do with a 10-1 score, but sometimes it'll be hill. Is the 2 going to get pushed over? No, it's not. So got a little near the cushion there, so a little delicate with the safety.
I don't know whether it was my imagination or did I hear a little tut from Josh Filler.
Okay, can he kill the cue ball here with a little high right ball, banking the 2 down, bringing the cue ball maybe up behind the 3? Oh, he put him behind the purple 5, or tried to. Looks like he's got the 2 in a great position.
Ruthless and relentless.
I'll tell you what, why not, shake him up here, Phil? I mean, get a little movement on the 9, right? I mean, you're coming to the back of the 2.
Extension call.
You could maybe get a little action on the black 8. You go into the black 8 with the 2. That should rock the 9 towards the side or maybe the upper left corner. I think he's got to go ahead and put some speed on this. Yeah, he's elevating, so that tells you there's some speed coming. All right, tried to play the safety.
If the 2 goes, the end could be nigh, although the cue ball is uncomfortably close to the middle. Every pot coming just the same for Filler, powering them in.
Yeah, just a touch of kill spin, not much. We'll just hold the ball here. Could have a little bit of awkward cueing near the 9, but should be okay.
Jeremy, I've commentated on scores, maybe hundreds of matches now. You've seen talked about, played in thousands of matches. I've never seen anything better than this.
Yeah, definitely not better. That's for sure. I've seen a few that were close, but the thing about it is just how solid every strike of the cue ball has been. It's not just, we've seen players run racks and we've seen score lines like this in big moments, but just how crisp he's been every shot. That's probably the most impressive.
And he's totally involved and invested speed around the table. He's convinced he's going to knock everything in. He's convinced he's going to play every safety correctly. In his mind, he's the man. And who's to dispute that?
No, absolutely. And he feels like he should be the top-ranked player in the world. And, of course, FSR's earned that. But Joshua Filler, that's what he wants, titles and to be on top.
Never has the nickname Killer Filler been more appropriate. The German, the defending champion, simply dismantled the reigning Whirlpool Masters champion with one of the best performances you're ever likely to see. The final scoreline, 11-1.